You've heard it a million times in the news, right? The economy's growing, or uh-oh, we're heading for a recession. But what does that actually mean? I mean, how on earth do you give an entire country a single grade on its performance? Well, that grade, it comes from this huge idea called national income. And today, we're going to break it all down.
Probably the best way to get a handle on this whole thing is to just think of it as a country's yearly report card. I know it sounds simple, but it's a really powerful way to look at it.
So you see those headlines, right? GDP grew by 3%, or the economy shrank this quarter. That's the final grade on the report card. But what are they actually measuring to get that grade? You know, how is the test even scored in the first place?
Well, the answer to all of that lies in this one core idea: national income. This is the big picture number, the main metric that gives us a snapshot of a nation's overall economic health. Okay, so what is it exactly? At its heart, national income is the grand total of all of a country's economic activity. We're talking about the total value of every single thing produced, from cars to cups of coffee, and every service provided, from haircuts to coding an app. It's everything created inside a country's borders over the course of a year. Basically, it's a huge measurement of how productive and, well, how wealthy a country is.
So, let's circle back to that report card idea. A high or a rising national income, that's like getting an A+. It means things are looking good. But a low, or even worse, a falling number? Yeah, that's a big red flag, a sign of trouble. It's pretty much the single most important grade a country can get for its economic health.
So you might be wondering, how do economists even begin to calculate a number this massive? It's not as simple as you might think. They actually have 3 different ways of looking at it, all designed to get a really complete and accurate picture.
And what's really cool is that these 3 methods are basically just different ways of looking at the exact same thing. First, you've got the output method. You just add up the value of all the stuff that's produced. Simple enough. Then there's the income method. This one adds up all the money everybody earned from making that stuff. We're talking wages, company profits, you name it. And finally, the expenditure method. This one looks at what everyone spent to buy all those goods and services.
And here's the beautiful part: the logic of it all. See, every dollar's worth of something that gets made, that's the output. Well, that becomes a dollar of income for somebody, right? That's the income. And then that dollar gets spent to buy something. That's the expenditure. It's this perfect circular flow. So in theory, whether you count what's made, what's earned, or what's spent, you should end up with the exact same number. It all has to add up.
Of course, this number doesn't tell the same story for every country. Not at all. A nation's national income is like its economic fingerprint. It reveals a unique story about what makes it strong and also where it might be vulnerable. And that's because the final grade on that economic report card really depends on what a country's main industries are. I mean, what's driving the economy in one place could be completely different from what's happening just across the border.
Yeah, just take a look at this. For a country like Nigeria, so much of its economic health is tied to the global price of oil. If oil prices are up, their national income gets a huge boost. Then you've got Kenya, where agriculture is king. A great harvest there can lift the whole economy. And for the United States, it's all about services and tech, what people are spending their money on. So the big takeaway is this: you really can't understand a country's national income number without knowing what's actually powering its economy.
All right, so we've covered what it is and how it's measured, but here's the big question. Why should you or I even care about this one giant number? I mean, what's the point? What does it actually do for us?
Well, it turns out it matters a lot. For governments, a growing national income means more tax money coming in to pay for things we all rely on, like roads and schools. For investors, it's a green light that signals a healthy place to put their money. It also lets us all keep score, you know? Are we doing better this year than last year? And maybe the most important thing, if the whole economic pie is getting bigger, that suggests the average slice, the standard of living, could be getting better for everyone.
So next time you're scrolling through the news and you see a number like this, let's say GDP grew by 3%, you'll know it's not just some random abstract statistic. Nope, it's a snapshot of all that activity we've been talking about. It's a quick signal that the country's economic engine is humming along nicely.
So remember, the next time you hear the GDP grew by 3%, you'll know it's so much more than just a number. That single percentage point represents the combined work, the buying, the selling, the hustle of millions of people. It's not just a grade on a report card, it's the very heartbeat of a nation's economy.